Alright everyone, today we're going to go do some dialogue in Coasters. Let's see what that looks like. This is what we're going to learn today. We're going to learn how to use unique variable names to refer to different sprites. We're going to use dot notation to control a sprite's movements. We're going to control the flow of the program so that the sprites appear to have a dialogue. So the way it's going to work is you're going to have one sprite say something. We've used the say command before. And then you're going to have a pause, right? Then you're going to have the other sprite respond. So there's, a dialogue is two people or things or characters, whatever you want to say, talking to each other. There's some examples over here, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Here's my example over here, but again, let's not worry about that. Let's go to the beginning over here. Continue without submitting. Start at the very beginning over here. Let's get started. So let's take a look at what we have over here. We've got a rocket ship that comes down. We've got an alien over here, and an astronaut. And there you can see they're talking, right? And then they start bouncing around. Let's look at the code. We have the moon as our background. We have the ship, the rocket ship appears, and then the ship sets the speed to 1, and then moves down 300 pixels. Then we have Glorp, our alien, over here, right? And then we have Astro, our astronaut, over here. And then we have some Glorp moves, says something. The whole stage waits. Remember, this area over here is our stage. Astro says, "Who are you?" Stage wait again. So again, this is what we're going to use this stage.wait in order to make everything, pauses everything on your stage. And then that way it gives the person, the user, time to read what that character is saying, and then and then the other person can respond. Blah blah blah. So we use a lot of stage.waits, and then we have the set x speed and the set y speed, so they start bouncing around if they want. So if you want your stuff to bounce around randomly, you can set the x and the y speed, set the x and the y speed. So that way they kind of like bounce around randomly. If you want them bouncing like left and right, you set the x speed. If you want them just to bounce up and down, you set the y speed. I think I said that right. But x is left and right, horizontal. Y is vertical, up and down. We've got a ticket on this one over here. Let's look at a ticket. What is the alien's name? Now we read the code, so we know that the alien's name is Glorp. Not Glopper, Glorp. There we go. The astronaut's name, again, we read the code, so we know that the astro's name is Astro. There we go. Let's submit our work. See right here on line 9, the alien's name is Glorp. And on line 11, the astronaut's name is Astro. Alright, let's click run and watch the stage. Let's see what happens. We got a cat. Hi there, Coaster. And then a doggy says, "I like digging holes." Alright, great. There's a sprite named Mr. Fluffy. What is Mr. Fluffy's image label? So Mr. Fluffy equals coasters.sprite cat. The image label, remember, is the thing inside the quotation marks inside our variable. This is our parameter, right? So Mr. Fluffy is our variable name. Then we have what's the value of our variable? It's a coaster sprite with image label of cat. Great. There's a sprite named Spot. What is Spot's image label? Well, I'm gonna guess dog, right? It is dog. Luckily on line 4 over here, it's dog. In this program, what does Mr. Fluffy say? So go to line 7 over here. Mr. Fluffy says, "Hi there, Coaster. Hi there, Coaster." Let's start off our dialogue by adding the first sprite. So right now we have the background is the moon. I kind of give that to you. Let's go to sprites. Use sprite add position. So this is the comment that they give us, and it's going to kind of explain what's going on with this sprite over here. So we have sprite equals coasters.sprite. We have coaster 0, 0, and these are our parameters inside the parentheses. We have our parameters. We have the image label, right? In the x and the y position. Now you can do a sprite with just the image label, but if you do it with the x and the y position, then way you can place it at a certain point on your stage over here. This allows you to choose where your sprite will appear on the stage. Oh, great. I think that's all we have to do, right? Yep, now we have our coaster on top of the Earth over here. 0, 0 is the very middle of our stage. Now we're going to mess around with the sprite over here. The image label is the string parameter in the sprite command, alright? Change the sprite's image label from Codester to Astronaut 2, alright? Astronaut, not Astronaut, Astronaut 2. Alright? That's all we have to do. Oh, now we have Astro. But it's still called Sprite, but we're going to change that soon. Alright, remember that each sprite has a variable name. And we're going to be messing around with more than one sprite. So they can't all be called Sprite. We have to give them different names. Didn't change anything on our stage, but now our variable is called Astro instead of Sprite. Let's have the sprites start at the far left of the stage. And now we're going to mess around with the parameters over here. So far we messed around with the image label parameter. Now we're going to mess around with the X and the Y. So we're going to change the X to negative 230. And the Y to negative 125. So the bottom left corner, right? Yep. Check plus. Submit work. Next activity. We can use the sprite's variable name to assign actions to a sprite. This is called dot notation. So go to actions and drag out move forward. I'm going to drop it at the bottom. Move forward. Now we have to change that. Right now it's sprite.move forward. We want it to be Astro move forward. And we want it to move from 50 to 150. So it's going to move forward more to the right. Check plus there. See, we Astro moved over here, 150 pixels. If it was 50, it'd only move to about like over here, right? We want to move more towards the middle. Uh-oh, this program has a bug, which means we need to fix it. Let's see what this bug is. Uh-oh, name sprite is not defined on line 7. So let's go to line 7. So here we've got debug the program so that the glide to command is assigned to toothy. Right now it's assigned to sprite, but we don't have anything called sprite because we changed it to toothy. So change it to toothy. Now it should work, right? Now our sprite actually glides to where we want it to glide to. Check plus. This wouldn't be much of a dialogue with only one sprite, so now I'm going to add sprite number 2. So let's go to sprites, sprite at position. Change it to glorp. Oh, and this has to be Alien 1. I did it out of order, but now I've got glorp on top of the Earth here. Check plus. I don't know if you hear Miss Mahia in the background over here. All right. Let's change the alien's X and Y parameter so it starts the scene off to the side. So he's going to start off in the bottom right corner. So the X is going to be at 250. And the Y is going to be negative 110. There we go. There's glorp over there, peeking out next to the flag. All right, step 8. We'll use variables and dot notation to call sprites by name and assign actions. All right, so we're going to go to actions. Actions over here. We're going to have glorp move left. How much is glorp going to move left? 150, just like Astro moved. There we go. Check plus. Submit our work. Now our sprites can speak to each other, so we've got 2 sprites. They moved in. Now they're going to start saying stuff. All right, so go to actions. We're going to set say color. Say is highlighted, but we want to do set say color first. Here it is. And we're going to change glorp's set say color. So the text that glorp says will be a different color. Right now, I think the default is black. We're going to change it to, I don't know, white maybe? Right now it's blue. They didn't tell us to change it, so we're just going to leave it. Oh, we have to say do a say command. That's the next part. I moved forward too fast. Now Glorp has to say I am a sprite. I am a sprite. You see now his text is blue. Alrighty. Now let's change what he says. Right. First we're going to change his text color to white. And then we're going to change what he says to welcome to the moon. Welcome to the moon. Let's see the difference. You see now it's a white. Welcome to the moon. Hello, Glorp. If that is your real name. Alright, let's add in a wait command. So now we're going to have that stage.wait stuff there. So that we can have an actual dialogue. So people just talking over each other. That's not a dialogue. That's just two people yelling, right? So stage.wait for 2 seconds. That's fine. Welcome to the moon. 2 seconds. Great job. Uh-oh. This program has a bug, which means we need to fix it. The name sprite is our default Codesters variable. If you change the sprite's name, you must also change the name in front of any command that you want to assign to your sprite. Let's run it, see what happens. Uh-oh, this Fox. On line 5 it says sprite.say, I love the snow. But our sprite isn't called sprite, it's called Mr. Fox. We have to fix it. MR_Fox. And Mr. Fox says, I love the snow. Great job debugging the program. Thank you. Alright, now let's have the astronaut say something as well. So I'm going to go to actions and set say color first. And then you're going to go to the say and up here. And you change both of these to Astro. So Astro will say I am a sprite in blue, but we're going to change both of those things. Welcome to the moon. 2 seconds. I am a sprite. Okay. You notice that this text over here above Glorp doesn't go away. We're almost done already. Look how fast we're going. Alright, step 13. Let's change the string so the astronaut speaks to the alien. Alright, so we're going to change this from blue to yellow. And the astronaut will say, who are you? Question mark. Welcome to the moon. Who are you? Check plus. This program has a bug, which means we need to fix it. Logic error. Programs run in order from top to bottom. So it starts off at 1 and goes all the way to the end. Click run and look at the stage. The stage.wait command pauses the whole stage, right? Let's take a look here. Alright. So if we look at the program, right, we have a summer background, then we have a hedgehog sprite down here, and then the hedgehog goes down to this spot over here. Then the hedgehog says this, and says this. Right? But we only see the hedgehog say the last thing. Hedgehogs have between 5,000 and 7,000 spikes on their backs. That's because we don't have any sort of pause between when he says it and then goes on to the next thing. It just says it, says it, says it. So we got to see these stage.waits. We got to cut these and paste them into the right spot. So now it'll go, Hedgie says something, wait for 3 seconds. Hedgie says something, wait for 3 seconds. And Hedgie says something. Let's try it like this. There were 15 pieces of hedgehog. Hedgehogs are born blind. Hedgehogs have between 5,000 and 7,000 spikes on their backs. That is a lot of spikes. Way more than me. Check plus. We did it. Alright, we got another bug. What's this bug? You must use the correct variable name when assigning action to a sprite. Alright, let's run it and see what happens here. I'm an adorable hedgehog. I'm a cool looking fox. Wait a minute. This is all messed up. All right. So we have down here on line 11 and 13, the fox says I'm an adorable hedgehog, and the hedgie says I'm a cool looking fox. We got to switch these around. So make hedgie say I'm an adorable hedgehog, and the fox say I'm a cool looking fox. That makes more sense. Check plus. There we go. So let's just try to show you. Make sure you use the right variable name when you're using in dot notation when you're having a variable say do something. Here are a few questions for you to check what you've learned. All right, let's take a look. We've got Wiggles is Codesters.Sprite puppy. Wiggles say bark. All right. All right, Wiggles says bark. He did it. Which line of code will correctly give a say command to the puppy sprite in the editor? Now, the puppy's name is Wiggles, so it's going to be wiggles.say, I like to play, or whatever it is we want it to say. The only one that has that is B. What is the name of the sprite in the code editor? The name of the sprite is Wiggles, right? Wiggles. The image label is puppy, but the name of the sprite is Wiggles. Which line of code is correct? Wiggles.say it is a good day for a walk. That looks fine, right? Wiggles.say it is a good day for a walk. Oh, no quotation marks around the string. That was definitely not right. Wiggles.say, oh, wait a minute. There's quotation marks at the beginning, or around Wiggles.say. That's not how you do it. Right? You don't see Wiggles.say with quotation marks around here. Wiggles say, oh, we're missing a period between Wiggles and say. So the only one that's right is A. Let's submit our work. Do the next thing. And we're almost done with this. Now customize your program. Be sure to meet these minimum technical requirements. Continue the dialogue. Add more say commands to your program. Add another sprite to your scene. Try setting the X or Y speed from the physics toolkit to make one or both of your sprites move. When you finish, click submit and next to go on. Alright, so I'm just going to do this thing. I'm going to copy this, right? And I'm going to add in a stage that way too. I don't need, actually I can get rid of this stuff. I don't need to set the say color. We need to set the say color once. So let's take a look at what I've got. Alright, I said, Glorp says, welcome to the moon. Astro says, who are you? And the Glorp says, welcome to the moon. And the Astro says, who are you? Alright. We're going to change this part over here. My name is Glorp. Capital G, right? Proper noun. What kind of funky name is Glorp? Let's run it, see if that works. Welcome to the moon. Who are you? My name is Glorp. What kind of funky name is Glorp? Alright, so I did requirement number 1. Let's do requirement number 2. Add another sprite to your scene. So I'm going to go to sprites over here. I'm going to do, let me see, I'm going to go to search. I'm going to look for like UFO, right? Space sprites, UFO. I want my sprite to appear over here. So I'm going to say like 164, 162. Or actually 160, 160. 160, 160. Let's see what that looks like. You see my sprite over here doesn't show up until this point of the story, right? You would think maybe, like, some people might think, they would be incorrect, that I have a sprite over here, so it should show up like right away, right? But nope, it doesn't show up until it actually shows up in the code. All right. And then Glorp will say, there's my ride. See you later. All right. Let me see. I'm just gonna have my go over here. So a little bit over here. I want it to go to maybe 80. All right. So this guy will show up over here. And I still haven't done requirement number 3. I just want to see what it looks like. All right. Here's my ride. See you later. Alrighty. Now I'm going to do some actions over here. Go back over here. Let's go to actions. Set X speed and set Y speed if we want. Alright, so I'm going to set Glorp's X speed. Let me see. Where's set X speed? Set size. No, I don't want drawing. Moving sprites. Where is set X speed? Oh, it's physics, right? It's physics. Sorry, I'm in the wrong spot. Set X speed. And set Y speed. Alright, so Astro is going to move, right? Left and right. I'm going to have Glorp move up and down. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Welcome to the moon. Who are you? My name is Glorp. What kind of funky name is Glorp? Here's my ride. See you later. Uh-oh. Oh, I have Sprite does it. Alright, I gotta fix that. Alright, I'm gonna call this guy UFO. I want Glorp to move, alright. Glorp is only gonna say this for 2 seconds. Alright, let's try that a little bit better. Welcome to the moon. Who are you? My name is Glorp. What kind of funky name is Glorp? There's my ride. See you later. Oh, I have Glorp. That's not gonna work. This is why we run our programs. Glorp. Try it one more time. This time this will be the one. Welcome to the moon. Who are you? My name is Glorp. What kind of funky name is Glorp? Here's my ride. See you later. I'm going to change this to 2 seconds. Get rid of this one over here. Alright. So I'm just fine-tuning my program over here, making sure it's as good as I can make it. And I'm going to do Astronaut say, wait, come back. Or 1 second. Alright, I'm going to set Glorp's. I'm going to change this to after he says it. Alright, here we go. Do. Because I want Glorp to start going up, and then Astro to start chasing after. Let me see. Let's do events. Let's do a collision event, right? Alright. Glorp runs into UFO. then I think it's just hide. Let me see. Let's run it like that. And then let me see. Change that. Again, I'm getting mine a little extra fancy. Let's see if this the collision event. See if I did it right. Yeah, it works. Alright, just so I can explain what I'm doing here, let's take a look. So I have a collision event, so when two sprites run into each other, I have when Glorp runs into the UFO, I have a variable over here. I just left it called my variable equals UFO, so get image name. So it's going to it's going to call on this UFO, all right? It's going to find the image label, essentially. So if the image label of the UFO of whatever sprite it hits is the same as the one that I defined right here, then it will disappear. So if it runs into, say it runs into Astro, it won't disappear when it runs into Astro because I don't have anything. If I put this to Astronaut 2, then it would disappear when it hits Astronaut 2. But I want it to disappear when it hits the UFO. So once that happens, Glorp will hide. Then so this is over here. I have this actually runs the collision event. So glorp.event.collision. So here I'm saying what the collision event is. Down here, I'm actually running the collision event. All right. Anyways, that was kind of cool. Yeah, you don't have to go anywhere near that fancy. All right. I'm not going to do the whole project at the end, but I'm going to show you how to do it. All right. So we'll take it from there because it's going to take too long. I don't want the video to be 10 hours long. So let's take a look. Oops. So about this project. A fable is a kind of short story that usually it features two or more animal characters and has a clear lesson or moral. Some examples of common fables are the tortoise and the hare and the lion and the mouse. Your task: try to recreate some dialogue and actions from a fable or folktale. You could use the link to Aesop's Fables in the instructions to select the story you want to recreate. Then program your sprites to have a conversation and move around as described in the story. Let's take a look at some of the examples over here. Over here they have, I don't know, they got a couple snakes going on. Watch out, young son, for things with claws, for things with a beak, for things with strong jaws. Watch out for the hiss, claws, beak, jaws. Watch out for the coil. Watch out for the squeeze, or they will cause turmoil. Alright, hiss, coil, squeeze, hiss, coil, squeeze. I played hide and hug with Baby Turtle. No, Snake Baby. Hide and hug is not a game for you. This is the way you get your meals. Promise me you will hiss, coil, and squeeze. It will feel so good that your belly will become full. Hiss, coil, and squeeze. Makes a meal for me. Alright. The end. Hiss, coil, and squeeze. I guess that's good if you're a snake. Example number 2. You saw that we had, a good dialogue there, right? I am so bored. Maybe it's time to have a little fun. Someone, help. There's a wolf. I don't see any wolf. Wait, wolf. Where's the wolf? Aha, you fell for it. You know that isn't funny. That was fun. Maybe I should try it again. Don't do it. Help me. There's a wolf. Where's the wolf? Aha, just kidding. That is seriously not funny. OMG, there's actually a wolf. It's a fox. Where you get that? Help! I'm serious this time. Jump, jump. Cry wolf too many times, and help won't come. The moral of the story. Alright, we get the idea. Let's go look at the third example. Let's look at the one I did here. So I have, hello, who are you? Why are you in my home? I'm looking for a place to stay. Can I stay here? Sure, I don't see why not. Hey, watch out. Your body is all pointy. Time for you to leave. Looks like this is my home now. Sigh. Shoop. Alrighty. So, I think the story I picked was called the snake and the snakes and the porcupine. I just modified it a little bit. So into these fables, if we click over here, right, Aesop's Fables has a whole big list of fables. Click start over here, over here. I don't know why it doesn't have like a link over here somewhere, but anyways, click start. They have the frogs and the ox, Bella and the cat. So say you want to do the frogs and the ox. You'd read the story, very short story. All these stories are pretty short, so I'm not expecting you to, write some novel or anything. But you want to have enough opportunities for dialogue that it makes sense. An ox came down to a reedy pool to drink. As he splashed heavily into the water, he crushed a young frog into the mud. Whoops! The old frog soon missed the little one and asked his brothers and sisters what had become of him. A great big monster, said one of them, stepped on the little brother with one of his huge feet. Big was he, said the old frog, puffing herself up. Was he as big as this? Oh, much bigger, they cried. The frog puffed up even more. Oh. He could not have been bigger than this, she said. But the little frogs all declared that the monster was much, much bigger, and the old frog kept puffing herself out more and more until all at once she burst. Do not attempt the impossible. Oh, all right. Kind of a downer, but we got some ideas. So this wouldn't be too bad. You just have to. And it doesn't say, for example, you don't want to do. We don't have a frog sprite. We don't know how to do custom sprites just yet, so we're not going to worry about it too much. But like, say if they don't have a frog sprite, I think they probably do, right? Oh, that's not it. All right. So if I can search up like a frog. No match found. But you could use something different. You could use, I don't know, turtles or whatever it is you want to use. But that would be pretty easy as far as having dialogues go. What you could do is animate the frog so it gets bigger and bigger, or the turtle, or whatever it is, until it pops. Let's look at the ticket over here. So this is going to help you do a good project, or create a good project, I should say. Step 1, identify the main project goal and the listed project requirements. So the main project goal is to recreate a fable, a folktale, and Codesters. All right. And then create some lines of dialogue and action. Then you're going to describe your project. A porcupine moves into a home of a snake and takes it over. Step 3, use pseudocode. So pseudocode, remember, is that stuff with a hashtag in front of it. That's stuff code that the computer doesn't actually read. That's just notes for ourselves and our fellow programmers to kind of remind us, like, what it is that we want to accomplish in certain areas. And then you start building your project. That's step number 4. And step 5 is self-check. All right, and these are the 3 questions you're going to ask yourself at the end. Did you meet all of the assignment requirements? I already know I did, so I'm going to say yes. Or did you meet your personal goal for your finished project? I did. Did you include comments with pseudocode? I did. Let's take a look at my code over here. All right, so step 1, this is the code that they give you, is to set up the scene with a background and a sprite. I have my pseudocode is a house interior background, a hedgehog, and a snake. So I have my background is house interior. I have my snake. I call them snake, and then just call them sprite. And then I have my hedgehog. It's called hedgehog, believe it or not. And he starts over here. And I changed my hedgehog to be bigger because I want to be more porcupine-sized. And then I flipped my hedgehog around so he's facing the snake. All right, step 2, first lines of dialogue with action. Sprites must move to their positions and introduce themselves to each other. So I have my snake moves to his spot, my hedgehog moves to his spot, moves up forward a little bit. Then I have my dialogue. So I have my snake says something, and then I have stage.wait. Snake says something, stage.wait. Hedgehog says something, stage.wait. Hedgehog says something for 2 seconds. This time I put in the time parameter inside my say command. That way the text goes away. I like to do that at the end, so that way the text will go away. It's not there when they're moving around and stuff like that. All right, next lines of dialogue with action. So I have my hedgehog kind of bump into the snake. So he goes, like moves in a little bit. Bump into the snake, and the snake says, "Hey, watch out! Your body is all pointy." He says each of those things for 2 seconds, and my hedgehog points into him again. And not a lot of dialogue. It's really just when the snake saying 2 things. be saying it to somebody. So I guess maybe that counts as dialogue. I don't know. Number 4, next lines of dialogue with action. Right, so then I have the snake says something, stage.wait, hedgehog says something, stage.wait, snake says something. I guess I'll leave. All right, and the snake glides over to the right and then hides. And then if you want, you can continue on. So I met all of my project requirements. I have dialogue, I have action, I recreated a fable. Again, if you don't want to use the characters that they give you in the fable, you can come up with your own characters. As long as you have the spirit of the story, like the moral is still the same, and you add in some dialogue. You notice that the dialogue I have in my story is not going to be the same as the dialogue in the actual story. So, and like I said, there might be different characters. Like, and you can change some things around as long as you get the spirit of it. That's fine. All right, then you submit your work. You go on to the next lesson. Then you submit a reflection. Then over here, you're going to write, 3 or 4 lines about any kind of problems you face, what you liked best about this project, what you didn't like about it. All right, that kind of stuff. Then when you're done, you're going to click save. And then you'll be all set. You'll go back to the class page. And you can see different projects that people have worked on. All right. So I hope that helps you out. I'll go ahead and post this up on the stream today, on the iLearn stream. And then I'll go ahead and take care of the next one. I will see you guys soon.